Welcome back, tasties and tastettes, to another episode of FTWGT Weekly. You are joined again by myself, Lenny, and the producer in the closet permanently, Dante. Dante, how are you this week?
I'm good. How you doing?
No complaints here. No, none.
You sure? No complaints? None?
I'm sure
Zero?
if I wanted to, I could find something in there to complain about. Well, okay, you want to ask me about complaints. We'll save a review for later, but let's talk about this as far as complaints are concerned. So last week we teased that we were going to see another scene screen unseen. The
That's
name
a
is
tongue
like,
twister for you, huh?
well, like I always want to say scene unseen because like
You're thinking sight unseen.
well, a scene would make sense too, right? Like a movie scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I don't know which one I like better, right?
Seen
But I get where
would
it's
be a
like
fun play on words, yeah.
yeah, like you're screening an unseen movie.
Yeah.
I get that. And the double, because like you're seeing it on a screen, I suppose. But yeah, we were supposed to see a mystery movie this week. We were both excited for it. And last night we show up to the theater, and
Theater.
there's like instead of them scanning the tickets at the door, well, you had texted me actually a little before that, being like,
Trying
not
to give you a
looking
heads
good.
up, yeah.
But I was already out of my car and literally walking up to the building.
No.
And I actually went to like respond, but I accidentally like swiped the wrong direction and it just swiped away the notification. And I was just like, well, whatever. I'm already like in here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to figure out like when I was walking in, I was like, what could this be? Like, is it like there's a delay? There's no fire alarm. There's like nobody outside. So like we've already gone through that.
No, not this again.
Yeah. It's like, is there somebody holding up his theater with a gun? I was like, well, this doesn't seem like the tone that you would have if that was the case. Has the movie already started? Like, and it's a bad one. Like, I ran through a couple things and I was like, I'll just wait till I get inside. And I walk in and there's the same person who always greets you at that theater. And she's just like, I don't know what's going on. That's a problem.
Which is ridiculous, because when we find out what's going on, it's like, how the fuck did she not know?
She might be a really good secret keeper.
You think so?
Or she forgot.
She just
Both.
didn't want to talk to anybody?
That chick likes to talk.
Yeah, actually,
She's
you're right. You're right.
talker.
Yep.
Speaking of talkers, really quick, I don't know. I work with the general public, and I try to keep my conversations as minimal as possible. Like, unless
Feel that too, yeah.
unless I've talked to you for a few minutes and we decide we like each other, kind of, and like we chatted up at that point. But like, I was at the supermarket today. I talk about the supermarket at least once a month on this podcast. By the way, it consumes way too much of my life in retrospect. But yeah, I was at the supermarket today, and the lady, I had 20 items or less, so it's supposed to be an express line. I walk up, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Not good."
Oh.
I was like
the cashier said
yeah. I was like, oh.
What do you respond to that? Like, oh, what can I do to make it better?
I was like, no, I'm not trying to fuck her. I was like, oh.
I don't know what your vibe was like.
Yeah. I was like, oh, like, what's wrong? And she's like, didn't hit the Powerball last night.
Dog.
That sucks. Yeah.
She's
I didn't
like,
even want to get into like
stuck at bullshit market basket.
Yeah, I didn't even want to get into like, yeah, but like, were you ever going to?
Yeah.
You know, like, odds are pretty slim on that one.
Like,
You're bummed out
you
about
were
that?
banking hard on that one to be this disappointed.
Yeah, and I hit her with like well, you'll get him next time. And she proceeds to be like, yeah, but like, I would have done a lot of good things with that money. And I was like, well, I always like to think that if I won like a lot of money on a scratch ticket or something like that, that I would still just show up to work the next day. She's like, no, not me. She's like,
yeah, she said a lot of good things. She didn't say for who.
Well, I was gonna say, she then proceeds to be like, I got people's mortgages to pay off. She's like, I'd pay off my sister's mortgage. I'd buy this person something nice. She's like, and then my nephew's his mother just passed away right before Christmas. And I'm like, overshare.
Christ.
I'm just checking out.
I just want to pay for my stuff.
Yeah, we're 7 items into my 20 or less, and like, I've learned a lot. And I was just like, well, like, that's sad. Got to do something nice for him. She's like, yeah, I'll pay. Like, I already paid for the funeral, but like, it'd be nice to do something good for somebody and not look for any like not look for any approval, you know, like
Jesus
quietly do it.
Christ.
It's like, well, you're already telling me. So how
You
quiet
felt
are
like
you?
she was asking for your approval?
Well, no, it's like, how quiet are you intending to be about this? You're telling a complete stranger.
Yeah.
So you're already looking for fucking props for it. Yeah, like, and you know the other part of this that I'm leaving out, like, I had my headphones in. We could have
the
just,
universal like don't talk to me symbol.
yeah, like we could have just been on our merry way. Yeah, and that was basically where I mentally checked out of the conversation because, like, I don't know, you know me well enough, Dante. That's not really my ideal situation. I don't really want to talk to a person like that in general. But then when you start laying on like real life problems to me, and I don't know you, I already don't know how to talk to people I do know about that stuff.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
Like, I already struggle with those conversations. So like, I was like, what am I doing here? Get me out quickly, please. Last thing on that, she asked me where I wanted her. I had to buy a stick of deodorant. Like, normally I just order like a 5-pack on like Amazon or something, but I'm almost out. Need to get some for work tomorrow. So I was just like, I'm here. I'll grab some, right?
No.
She was like, where do you want me to bag the deodorant? How would you respond to that question?
In the bag.
So she was asking me because like there was a bag that had like some rolls and some bugles in them. The cinnamon toast ones. If anybody hasn't had them, they're fire. Get them.
Man, won't shut up about them,
They're
please.
really
Just go
good.
Out. You know what? Bugles sponsor us.
Yeah, hey, we'll take it. You can just pay me in bugles, quite frankly. That would save me like $5 a week. So there was either she provides me a bag just for my deodorant, or she puts it in the bag with the rolls and the bugles. Which one are you doing?
Put it in the bag with the rolls and the bugles.
That's what I said. And she was just like, yeah, I know. Like, she's like, I'm just weird. Like I have this OCD thing. And I was just like, well, I don't care. Like,
yeah, no, I don't. So
yeah,
like, just put my shit in the bag so I can go.
Yeah, I just want to pay, lady. So yeah, that's somebody being too social at the front of a store. Don't know how I got there. Somewhere from that lady at the AMC theater. Either way, we get to the AMC theater, back on track here, and Dante is already standing in a line that is probably like 12 people deep. Sound appropriate?
More than that.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's do mental math. Hold on.
There was at least 20 people.
You're wrong. I promise. 3 people were at the desk already. There was a couple in front of us. There was a lady in front of that. That's 6. There was only about 8 people in between them.
Okay, fine. You know what? We'll meet
about 14.
Yeah, whatever.
About 14.
Sure.
We need to paint a picture for the people.
Neither of us counted, so yeah,
I
somewhere
mentally,
between 14 and 20.
I ocularly pat down every room I'm in, and I did that, so I'm pretty confident. And I'm not counting the guy who was popping in and out of line because he had already bought popcorn. Motherfucker couldn't wait. Yeah. And you saw what he bought too. He didn't just buy a regular popcorn.
No, he bought like the whatever, like the movie release.
The Eras tour.
Is that the one it was?
Yeah, he bought the Taylor Swift one.
Need that T-Swizzy popcorn bucket.
Is that in the theater still? I don't think so. I also have to imagine it's just because he was with his girlfriend, and maybe his girlfriend's like a Swiftie, and it's like, babe, look what I got you. A popcorn tin. He
was trying to justify him buying a large popcorn.
Yeah. It actually looks smaller than a regular popcorn.
It does.
Yeah. So anywho, we're in line and everybody's kind of whispering to each other like, oh, I think somebody died in the theater. There's a flood.
Or the person in front of us that was like, oh, there's people out there signing stuff. Like, you might just have to sign an NDA. And we're like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
Well, that was the more logical one of like somebody died or the theater's flooded. That nobody actually thought that. But the NDA thing did, like, we were like, well, we didn't have to last time, but maybe this is either like a super early release or maybe people like went out and like snitched the last time they saw that, like, about next goal wins. Like there was some huge spoiler leak we were concerned about.
No, Apple doesn't like their leaks.
No? What happened with the fappening?
I'm sure they weren't happy about that one either.
So finally, this actually a friend of yours walks by us and it's just like, their movie's not happening. They're offering you free popcorn. It's like, What the fuck? And we're all just standing in line for this?
Yeah.
And everybody's whispering? Like, you could have just announced this. Like, mind you, we came on here like 3 weeks ago and we were like, yeah, we were halfway through seeing Hunger Games.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a fire alarm went off. And all they did was just scream to a crowd of people, you can either get a ticket or leave, basically. And this thing,
I appreciated that more.
yeah, no, that's my point. Like, there's nobody else in this theater. Like, literally the only movie that anybody was interested in seeing was the Screen Unseen.
Yeah.
And I think there was, to be fair, there was one couple who came in to see a movie that wasn't that in the midst of all that.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, there is about 30 people, 40 people maybe in line, 30 people, call it, in line. And we're just standing there and it's like, well, dude, I don't give a fuck about getting a free ticket to a movie. I didn't pay for this one. Like,
Yeah.
so what am, like, they're just wasting our fucking time.
Like, I wish the lady at the door could just tell us that, like, all right, cool, we have A-list. Like, I didn't pay any money for this anyways. I'll leave.
Do you think they were embarrassed?
I don't even know how accurate it was because, like, the person that told me they weren't showing the movie said something about, like, the projector broke.
Which maybe we need to do some research into how movie theaters actually work. It is one of the things I think I'd like to do if I worked at a movie theater. I sometimes find myself seeing if jobs are available at the movie theater, but I really don't want to work at, like, I wouldn't want to work at a counter. You know, like, I'm not trying to give out popcorn. You know,
What job do you want?
I want to be the person in the room changing the movies out.
Oh, okay.
That's my point. Because if the projector's not working, just move it to a different theater.
Yeah.
It was in theater 2, and as we said, there was nobody else going to movies that day.
But they probably had showings booked for all the other theaters. But, like, I
Okay, so
can't
then
imagine they sold as much.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Disappoint the people who bought tickets, like the 3 tickets to fucking The King and Me. That's not a real movie.
Oh, okay.
The Prince and Me is a real movie with Julia Stiles. I think I watched it like a month
Or maybe
ago.
the 4 people that are still trying to see Oppenheimer.
The Beyonce movie had a huge drop off the second week.
Oh, did
Cancel that shit.
it?
Get B out of here.
The Beehive showed up in the first week. That's it.
Yeah, they were gone in the second week. And I you know, we're gonna be all over the place because clearly there's nothing really important to talk about this week. That really said something to me that they, like, Beyonce might have miscalculated. She was like, "Oh, I got it like T Swift." No, you don't.
The Swifties versus the Beehive.
Oh, the Swifties have dominated that war. The Beehive had it for a minute, but I think also people overestimate how much Beyonce really has put out in the past, like, and I don't mean with Jay-Z, I mean like to mainstream media in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Can you look up Beyonce's like music in the past 15 years? Like Lemonade was what, maybe 2016?
Probably around there, yeah.
Because yeah, I just think that has not been as big. She built a big legacy in the 2000s. What do we got?
Damn, spot on. Lemonade was 2016.
Okay.
You're in the Beehive, huh?
No, never heard that album. What's after that?
Renaissance last year.
And that's the one that has the movie out right now.
Yes.
Do you know any of the singles off of that? Are any of them like top charters?
No. Well, I don't know any of them. Are any of them top charters? I don't have that information in front of me right
Doesn't
now.
provide that.
No.
What came out before Lemonade?
Beyonce.
Clever.
Hold on. She waited that long to have a self-titled album?
It's really not that long, really, right? She only had like 2 albums before that.
Yeah, Dangerously in Love.
Great album.
B-Day.
name.
I Am Sasha Fierce. 4.
Did she say D-Day or B-Day?
B-Day.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically self-titled.
Yeah.
How many albums it was Justified, Justin Timberlake's first album?
Now I gotta look up his shit.
I'm pretty sure it was. You don't have to do that. I'm pretty confident I'm right on that. That was his first. Is that self-titled? If it's Justified?
No. But you are justified in knowing that that was his first album.
Okay, yeah. What's the latest into a career that you can put out a self-titled?
I just feel like self-titled album is usually your first or second.
I think a self-titled album's a very lazy title.
Maybe, but I feel like it's kind of like So maybe not your first, maybe it is your second, because it's usually like the album you put out that kind of defines who you are and where you want your career to go. In my impression of it, anyways.
So it's more about like what's inside, not what's on the outside.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like it's more about the CD within, not about the not about the cover.
Yeah, don't judge an album by its cover.
Justified, far superior self-titled to whatever Beyonce's was.
Sure.
Read those songs, dude. Read the singles off of Justified. It should just say it.
It doesn't, all right?
No, if you go back down to it, it doesn't say it on the right-hand side.
No,
Scroll
that
down.
was showing like the records it got, like gold, platinum, all that shit.
Okay, did Beyonce go platinum?
It showed a platinum thing. I don't know how accurate it is. I'm pulling this off of Wikipedia.
I mean, that's
But it's also Beyonce, so it's likely.
probably accurate.
Yeah. Off of Justify, we got Like I Love You, Rock Your Body,
Damn.
Senorita.
Ooh.
Oh, Cry Me a River.
Cry Me a River, yeah. That was the one I was waiting for. Yeah, that album. I mean, Justin didn't really miss until like whatever that Memphis album was that came out like 3 years ago.
I don't think I heard it.
Yeah, nobody did. It's bad. Very bad.
They didn't even accredit it.
It's not on there?
The album was called Memphis?
No. What's his last album?
Oh, Man of the Woods?
Yeah, okay. But I think he recorded it in Memphis. That's why I said
Gotcha.
that. Yeah, Man in the Woods. People said it was bad. What did he get? Platinum, gold, bronze?
I don't understand how these ratings work, but it says platinum.
I mean, platinum just means it's sold a certain amount.
Yeah.
Which, he built in fan base. But look at what all the other albums got.
Yeah. All the other albums are way more stacked.
That's crazy. Yeah. So
the first one went triple platinum.
I just don't see how they couldn't move. If it was a projector issue, I'm not surprised. First of all, that movie theater sucks.
I forgot what we were originally talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to bounce us back and forth between being totally off topic and then getting back to what the topic was.
Love that.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like, first of all, I would assume a lot of this is digital now.
Oh yeah.
Like they just need to pop a flash drive in somewhere.
Yeah.
And it basically just plays. It's like, it's not the fucking Nolan movie where it's like, this is 7 miles worth of film to put Oppenheimer in, and it takes like 7 people to move it from one theater
probably
to the
like
next.
a forklift or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're not pulling out a fucking flatbed to wheel it to the next fucking room, dude. So I don't really understand how that works. I think, okay, AMC, here's an idea. If you are an AMC member for X amount of years, you should get a free tour.
Oh, you want a tour of the facilities?
Not that one necessarily.
Oh, do you get to pick your theater?
That'd be sick, dude.
What if they tell you could only tour the one in downtown?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how much there is to see. I'm sure they have like look up like the number. Can you see if they have this out there? The number 1 rated AMC theater.
I don't think I'm gonna find that.
You don't think you can find that? You know how like stores have like a test store?
Oh, for like when they try out all their new fancy shit?
Yeah, do you think there's like an AMC test store? Nothing out there, huh?
Nah, I'm not getting answers.
Can you find out where AMC's headquarters is? AMC Theater headquarters.
Sure. Is KS Kansas?
Yes. What else do you think it might have been?
It's
run me through some K states.
No, you're right. All right, cool. It couldn't have been anything else. It's either Kansas or Kentucky, and definitely in Kentucky, there's no S in there. I get it.
Kentucky's KU or is it KY?
No, it's KY. I'm pretty sure.
Jelly.
Oh, you just want to set me up for that.
You jelly, huh?
No, the one that always fucks me up is like Montana, Missouri. I never know which one's like MO and MI.
Montana's MN.
Oh shit.
Or is that Minnesota?
Oh, Michigan's MI. See, those ones mess me up. But please hold.
Pause.
Yeah, no, I just don't know states well.
Maybe that's when that's the next thing we'll do on an episode where we have nothing to talk about. We're gonna put initials up. We're gonna put initials up and we have to figure out the states that coincide.
I'm gonna need you to sweep the board.
I could probably get like kind of far through it.
No. Do you know that song that they do like to like name all the states?
No.
I forget. There's like a song to like list out all the states. I
No,
forget what it
dude.
goes like.
What? Like it has all the states in said song?
Yeah, it's 50 nifty United States.
Oh my god, no, I've never heard that.
No.
Thank God. Ugh.
They used to teach that in like elementary school to help you learn the states.
All right, did we find out where the AMC headquarters
Yeah, we
is?
did. Leawood, Kansas. I almost said Kentucky. You
What a
fucked me
weird
up.
place for it to be. All right, well, maybe we got to visit there. Maybe that's where I get my tour.
I don't think I want to go to Kansas.
Not in Kansas anymore. Okay, yeah. So let me know if there's like if they should have just moved us to a different theater. If you agree with that front, obviously bummer we didn't get to see whatever it was. I don't know if they're gonna reschedule because long story short of this scenario, we didn't wait. We just left.
We went to go see another movie.
Yeah, which we'll get to later. Bailey, this is 2 weeks in a row.
And I tried to come earlier this time, so she wasn't as bratty.
So we have a couple of video game trailers to talk about real quick here. So as we get into real, actual topics, I suppose. So we're gonna have some video game trailers, a couple small news pieces, and then we'll hit the taste test, and then we out here.
Bang bang.
So Jurassic Park Survival, a game that I don't know that anybody asked for, but it seems like everybody's kind of looking forward to.
Who's everybody?
I don't know. I've been on the X. I've been on X.
I'd be ask where you go to for your,
I'd be
your
partying
solo time videos.
Yeah, you know I do. Who goes on the hub anymore?
Oh my god.
So Jurassic Park Survival, it's mostly a cinematic trailer, but you do get a small little glimpse of gameplay toward the very end of the trailer itself. Where are you at as far as excitement?
I mean, survival games seem to be increasing in popularity. Like I know they had like the Friday the 13th games, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But
so,
those
like,
are
like
multiplayer.
Kind of oh, is this not going to be multiplayer? That's kind of what I was getting at.
I mean, you can look that up, but I think
I thought it would be like a group survival thing.
I mean, I'm down if it's like multiple people in like Jurassic Park having to survive, but I feel like it's not.
Probably should just. Sorry.
It feels like it's maybe more along the lines of like a Last of Us.
So no.
Single player survival.
Yeah. Jurassic Park Survival is confirmed to be a single player experience.
Do you think they should charge full price for that?
I think this should be one of those like $40 games.
Depends how much they invest into the graphics and the story on it for sure. But yeah, my initial thoughts would be the price point should be lower for something like that because there's only so much replayability to it. But I'm sure it'll still be $70 when it comes out. So knowing that now that it's going to be storyline driven single player survival game, what is your level of excitement? You get afraid easily.
No, I don't.
Well,
yeah, I'm just saying my level of excitement is meh. I mean, whether or not I'm intrigued in buying this game is going to strongly depend on the price point it releases at.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I'm pretty excited about it because I think it's a fun premise for a video game. Something that we don't get a ton of, right?
I mean, if it's executed well, like the idea of being able to kind of play out your own story of surviving Jurassic Park would be fun.
Yeah, cool, right?
Yeah,
and like the environments looked all pretty nice. From the looks of it, you're gonna.
I'd like to see more of a gameplay trailer before I.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is like the accuracy to like the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Looks like it's there. Like the kitchen, they showed you the kitchen from the movie. Like the whole little museum area. You had the outside pens where the dinosaurs are. Looks like you're gonna get a decent amount of different dinosaurs in here, and I could see it being pretty fucking terrifying. Like going through the dark woods, and all of a sudden you hear like the rumble of a T-Rex like stepping near you.
That's a game you definitely want to play on like an OLED.
Yeah, or like with headphones.
Oh, that too. Yeah, you want to be like immersed, but like I just feel like games that are like darker like that, like you need a screen that can support like good contrast.
Yeah, I think that my initial thoughts are it seems like a fun game. The other game that we got a very brief trailer for is Blade.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Blade.
How
We
I
got it.
forgot it already. That was a very short
Yeah,
trailer.
it was like minutes ago that we got it too. um, and you already forgot.
I told you how
Um,
bad my memory
no,
is.
you prove it every week. Yeah, there wasn't much to this one. Did it kind of give you a Spider-Verse vibe from like the animation style?
I could see where you're getting that from, but no, that wasn't my initial thought.
So all it is a cinematic trailer. It was him getting
I mean, if it's Marvel Game Studios and it's like, I don't even know if that's actually a thing. I'm over here making up shit. But if it's like the same team that made like the Spider-Man games, I could see like the art style does look similar to that.
I had a list of upcoming games from Marvel that was coming out and I lost it.
No, I'm not gonna find it fast enough.
Yeah, you never will. So yeah, we're in like a barber shop and he's getting a little touch up done.
Can you even call it a touch up?
I mean he did get lined up because he was definitely out of line on that one.
Bro, that was the fastest lineup I've ever seen.
But we don't know if it was at the tail end.
Oh, it looked like it was at the end. He was just getting the straight razor out. He wasn't using it already.
Yeah.
He just walked up.
But the rest of his beard looked
Done.
pretty clean.
Are you telling me that man only grows out of his lineup in one particular spot in his beard and that's it?
I mean, you know some people with some patchy ass beards, right? The other part of it that makes me feel like he's not very professional was he cut himself like the second he opened the blade. And Blade was like, "Yo, I don't bite. Chill."
It was obviously for that point. Like, he started bleeding. He got all nervous. He was like wiping on the rag, looking back at him like, shit, this man's gonna smell my blood.
So time's ticking down. It's about to get dark, and then Blade gears up, and that's the trailer end. We didn't get any actual gameplay. It said coming soon, so it doesn't seem like we have a release date or anything. I'm assuming the game's probably not even done yet. It's just like an early teaser for it.
So like Jurassic Park Survival, this was one of the games that was announced at the 2023 Game Awards. So this was a very recent announcement. So I think we're still in very early development on them.
Nonetheless, I think it's an interesting idea. My fear is this: like, did you ever play the Deadpool game?
No.
So
I don't think I even knew there was a Deadpool game.
Yeah, there was a Deadpool game that came out like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
And it was fun. It was fun, like, but it's basically just like a beat 'em up, you know?
Gotcha.
Like go level to level and just like beat up a bunch of bad guys kind of deal.
The last game I remember playing with like Blade and Deadpool was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'm pretty sure that was on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
I remember loving that game. Kind of get to like build your own like Marvel team and all that.
Furthermore, like Marvel hasn't had a good recent history. Like the Avengers game, I don't think anybody clamors for more of that. It wasn't very good. They also had Midnight Sun, right? And the Suicide Squad game. Both of those came out.
Huh.
Neither one
Both
was
of
successful.
those missed my radar. So
yeah, neither one were successful. So they like I don't know how much you can look forward to these. They've announced Blade. There's also a list of 4 other games that they're working on. So we're also got a Wolverine game that they're working on. We have an Iron Man game that they're working on. There's a Captain America and Black Panther game, and then just a Black Panther game. Any of those pique your interest?
I mean, like, it's one of those things where like it'd be cool if it was good, but I guess I'd have to see some trailers to know what to expect. Because if they just try to like cut all these games and use the same formula and just make them like basically reskinned like beat 'em up games, then no, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I think if you give me like cool cinematics, you know, and like a good story.
I was gonna say the story is really where it's gonna draw me in, like, but also like just when you're doing the missions, I need them to not feel repetitive. Like, I need diversity in that.
So I could see there being some diversity in a Blade game.
Yeah.
Because it's like maybe you can sneak around a bit more in the way that game's set up. But like a Wolverine game, like how much versatility are you going to get out of that?
That's just running around slashing it up.
And then like an Iron Man game, maybe you have some things where you just have to like fly and navigate through somewhere.
I'm sure there'll be like a suit upgrade mechanic to it and stuff like that. You know, you get to fly around, whatever, fun. But maybe you unlock different upgrades on like different ways to fight.
I guess I'm also not being fair because the game I didn't mention in the Marvel thing is like Spider-Man is obviously like very much acclaimed.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're basing this on, is they're going to give you like more of a. But like the thing is, like Spider-Man lends itself more because he is like an everyday crime fighter, similar to like a Batman.
Yeah.
Whereas like Wolverine is not the guy who's just like gonna roam the streets and stop like a shoplifter.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus fuck. Oh man.
We're done?
I think so.
All right, cool. You want to put gunshots on your sneezes?
I could do that. Maybe
Oh,
I'll make it a shotgun.
that's what it sounds like in here. But yeah, I think that's the one part of that concerns me a bit is like I could see Blade having like a decent story along to it. Wolverine could have a decent story, but like there's not a ton of depth to what I think you could give me in a game. You could try to be silent all you want. We all see it.
Oh yeah, right.
Iron Man, same deal. Like Captain America and Black Panther, I don't know, and then Black Panther, I don't know either. So a lot of questions there. Obviously, a lot of time till we actually know what's going on with that.
I guess Captain America could be interesting if it's like a origin story kind of thing.
But we already got that.
I know, but I'm saying like to play it out.
So you want to go to like World War II?
Yeah, if I could get like some like what is it, like time jumps and all that stuff, and I get to play in different eras, like that would be fun.
Not doing it for me, but again, once you get real trailers on any of this stuff and a bit more info, maybe my opinion changes. But my initial thought is none of that sounds super interesting. Next up, staying in line with the Marvel stuff, there is a animated series that's being worked on by Marvel that's called Eyes of Wakanda.
Oh.
And it's the little tagline underneath here, the description gives throughout Wakandan history, brave warriors have been tasked to travel the world retrieving dangerous vibranium artifacts. This is their story. Sounds cool. I actually think that's a more fun, interesting story, especially for an animated show. So like 30-minute hits of them just needing to go and like retrieve an artifact. You give me like an 8 to 10 episode season of that. That
already sounds like Jackie Chan Adventures, and I'm for it.
Yeah, like I don't need some like it doesn't need to be like live action where it's like an overarching story necessarily. It can be just an episodic like different adventure every week where it's an animated show, and I think that sounds kind of fun.
Okay.
And I think that world kind of lends itself to animation.
Did you ever watch the Fast and Furious animated series they put out? I think it was on Netflix.
The first season, I think I watched of it.
Okay. How'd you feel about that? Because that was kind of like that.
Good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
it. Was fine. I've talked about it on here, like the Jurassic Park animated series, fantastic.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's a Netflix one as well.
Okay.
Netflix kind of like has done a good job with their animated spin-off stuff, I think. Waiting for Bailey to. Here we go.
Yeah.
She can't make up her mind, dude. But yeah, I think the motto of a lot of what we're talking about today is going to be like it's a wait and see, because it seems like all of this stuff is fairly early in its production standpoint. Interesting ideas nonetheless. You know what's not early in its production, and I actually saw some pictures of it today that concerned me?
What?
Were you a Lilo and Stitch guy?
I mean, I enjoyed the movie. To say I'm a Lilo and Stitch guy, though, I think it's a stretch.
Yeah, like I think I've seen it once, but it was a fun movie, right?
Yeah.
Can you look up live action Stitch?
No, they're not doing that.
Comes out in June.
What the fuck?
Look at that little fucker.
I mean, I get he's an alien, but like
he's cute in the animated series. He is terrifying. That picture right there that you're hovering over, that's the one I saw. That is not the face of like the adorable little friend to that girl.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a horror movie.
I was just gonna say, is this like another like kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's?
Or that Winnie the Pooh movie that came out this past year?
Blood and Honey?
Yeah. Like, he just looks like a scary bat.
I was thinking more like a demon koala.
Okay,
But like,
that's
yeah,
also that's the vibe too.
sure.
Look at the full body image. That one. Like that thing will tear a kid to shreds.
Bro.
Like this can't be real, right? But that's the image that I'm seeing.
I wonder if this will be like, you remember when they first showed like how they were gonna do Sonic,
Yeah.
and then like I wonder if like the feedback they get from it, they'll end up switching it up.
He's not even the right color blue. Like I wonder if that's part of what goes so far into it looking so terrifying, is that like
He's not the same bright blue.
yeah, like that's not a friendly color blue. Like that's a Stitch that's been through some shit. That's the like 7th movie.
That's Stitch after he decided humans aren't worth trusting.
It's like when Andy realized like when Woody realized that Andy didn't want toys anymore.
But
Except,
like,
like,
I wonder if
this is-
this will be what they do for the live action. Like this might be a later rendition. You see this?
I don't know, dude, because like that's the picture that they have on what I was reading from the at Hollywood Handle that was saying the release date was set for Disney Plus in June. It's got to be the other one.
I hope.
There's no way, like, man.
I don't know.
It's scary. It's scary. What are they doing to kids these days?
Imagine if they cast Nicki Minaj as Lilo.
Is that Nicki?
Is that not?
Looks more like Cardi.
Shit, I confused them. My bad. Yeah, you're right, Cardi.
Racist.
You said what?
Oh yeah, like they hate each other. They used to hate each other, right?
They got beef, yeah.
Yeah. So, damn, he fucked up. Yeah, like maybe that's what it is. I mean, actually, when you think about it, it's like that kind of goes in line with the story. That picture right there. It's like, oh, we were best friends when we were a little kid. Then you threw me aside because you gave him a stripper and started drugging dudes and stealing money.
I like it. All right, so the Lilo and Stitch saga grows up with us.
Yeah, yeah. This is Stitch when she's 30, when Lilo's 30. It's like it's a pimp basically.
Oh shit!
Just
Yo, Stitch pimping Lilo out, bro.
Oh, this is fucked up. The Golden Globes. You still have the list open. You probably
Yes.
closed it. Okay. So we just got the announcement for most of the Golden Globe nominees. When is the Golden Globes? It's not something I watch, but I do find it somewhat interesting.
I have the list. You didn't tell me to get that up.
Well, I'm just afraid that by like it's like this weekend, and like us talking about this literally doesn't matter.
January 7th. We're good.
Oh, good. We got our time to get our predictions in here real quick. So let's run through some of the more important categories. Maybe like Best Picture, actor. I don't know. Scroll through there, find out what's interesting. You had brought up this Bradley Cooper nonsense earlier.
I just didn't know he was a director.
Yeah, so he has this movie Maestro. I don't know if it's out yet or it's coming out, but have you seen? You're not on YouTube a ton, right?
No, not
So
really.
like Variety always does these like actor on actor interviews. So it's like these two actors just talking about shit. And there's been a big push over the past couple weeks of a lot of this stuff coming out. And he did one with Emma Stone because she has a movie coming out. And I guess they're pretty good friends in real life. And it was like super interesting to watch. But I guess since he was a little kid, since like he was a toddler, he would pretend to be an orchestra conductor. And so essentially like he in college, he wrote like a whole paper that was like a screenplay based on like being a conductor. And like this was just a long time coming and like was a lifelong goal of his. Did he direct that one where he was the singer with Lady Gaga?
I don't know which movie you're talking about.
Star is Born. Because you were asking me if he just directed other stuff. Like, feels like he might have.
Yes.
Tell me something, girl. But that's like my little insight on that movie. I hope he wins. I like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. He also said he'd be interested in doing The Hangover 4.
Huh.
I think is cool.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going. Down the list. Bradley Cooper's our pick for Best Director. I did not read any of the other names. It does not matter.
Okay.
Nolan's not on. Of course he is. Actually,
Nolan's on there and Scorsese's on there.
Greta's going to win.
Okay, Barbie.
Yeah, I think Barbie has the most nominations. We don't care about animated. Fuck the Spider-Verse.
Best motion picture drama we don't care about.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw any of those. No, I literally didn't.
No.
We know what type of movie I'm not into.
Best musical or comedy.
Barbie, right?
Again in there, yeah.
But what else could it? I didn't. I've heard The Holdovers is good. I never watched Air.
Haven't seen it.
Don't think it should win.
Mm.
American Fiction, not overly familiar. Yeah, my vote's Barbie in a landslide. I think Barbie's got to win a lot of this just for how much money it made and like women. Fuck yeah.
How upset are you that best non-English motion picture doesn't include Godzilla -1?
I think it's too late.
What do you mean too late?
I think that like it came out too recently.
The fucking Bradley Cooper movie isn't even out yet.
What's the release date on it?
December 20th.
When did it get released to Sundance?
Oh, is that a separate thing?
I mean, Sundance is usually like screenings way in advance, and that movie just feels like it would have been something that got screenings months ago. But either way, I'm not surprised, dude. Like, these dumb bitches, you know, they don't give action movies the respect that they deserve.
I'm sorry. Limited theatrical release on November 22nd, and then it releases to Netflix on December 20th.
Weird.
Yeah.
You gonna watch it on Netflix?
Nah. Maybe.
I'm falling.
Okay. Best original score for a motion picture. I feel like at some point we went on a streak of talking about how like a lot of these movies had fun soundtracks.
And only one of them is in there that we saw, so.
Yeah. I mean, and that was the one I remember enjoying the most. Like, fuck Oppenheimer. Like, that movie, it was annoying because the soundtrack was literally just there to try and keep you awake, and it was too loud that you couldn't hear people talking sometimes.
Let them hear it. What about Flowers of the Moon?
I never ended up seeing it.
Thank God.
So my vote would be Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, cool. Keep it going. Original song, I'm Just Ken, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dub.
That
we can skip
complicated.
That one. Yeah. Female actor in a motion picture. Do you think it's weird that what's her name's not in there? Margot?
Huh. That is weird. But
none of those roll. This is the thing about award shows too. Is like neither one of us watch movies that are going to be traditionally nominated for.
Oh, you know why?
Awards.
Because it's separate in two different categories.
Oh, drama,
so,
yeah. We
drama,
already determined.
and then we have musical comedy, and there's Margot.
Yeah, we determined we don't watch dramas. I think Emma Stone might win this, is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you saw that trailer yesterday, right?
I'm surprised Jennifer Lawrence got a nomination for that.
For
No Hard Feelings.
You go full frontal for something like that, and like, you're gonna get some shout outs. But you know what I mean? Like that Emma Stone movie just felt like an award type performance.
I
just
never
from
watched
the trailer.
It.
We saw the trailer yesterday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Do you remember the Mark Ruffalo one? Where she plays like a robot or some shit?
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Like, doesn't that just have the feeling of like a movie that's like super artsy and like, you know, there's like layers to the performance, so it's like lends itself to an award show.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
So Margot Robbie, I think, is going to be like the unintelligent vote, but I'm going with Emma Stone.
All right. I guess I'd love to see that movie to like have a better opinion of it, but it's not out yet.
Or maybe I go full frontal.
Just all about the rack. I see you.
Yeah.
J-Law.
Yeah, we don't care about that one.
Supporting role, we don't care about.
Too much about women in here.
TV
Let's keep
series.
Going.
Yeah, there's a lot of female.
Bella
actor
Ramsey
categories.
should win that one.
Huh?
Bella Ramsey should win that one.
Is that just because you saw her name and were like, yeah?
Well, it's The Last of Us, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's why I said that. Is Helen Mirren for the Yellowstone spinoff?
1923. Yeah, she's on there.
Good for her.
Emma Stone's also on that list for The Curse.
I haven't watched it. Looks kind of interesting. She's having a hell of a year.
Huh. Why does that just look so complicated? Best performance by a male actor in a drama. Again, Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Leo for Killers of the Flower Moon.
How about Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer?
Oh yeah, I jumped right over that one because I don't know his name.
Do you think that he should get it?
I mean, Oppenheimer was a really good movie. I know it's not your type of movie.
I'm
but
asking
it was,
a real fucking question here, dude. I'm asking your opinion as somebody who saw it and when I didn't. Was he good enough in that movie?
I think he definitely deserves to be nominated. The problem is, I haven't seen any of these other movies to compare if he should win or not.
You saw a decent amount of movies this year.
Yeah.
Do you think that that was the best acting performance you've seen in one?
Yeah.
Okay. That he should win.
Yeah.
I'm going with Bradley Cooper, though.
Okay. Always the contrarian. Best male actor in a musical or comedy.
My vote is Matt Damon. Your vote's Shyamalan.
Timothy Chalamet.
Or
Oh damn, my boy Nick Cage got a nomination.
yeah, I mean this is kind of a hitter. Like, look, the nominations for this one are pretty crazy. Jeffrey Wright's awesome. Joaquin Phoenix, Matt Damon, Nick Cage, Paul Giamatti, and Timothy Chalamet. That is like an all-star list right there.
Yeah.
Like every one of those guys is fantastic.
Have you seen this Nick Cage movie, Dream Scenario?
No.
I don't even know what it is. I never heard of it.
He said recently that he's considering switching to TV.
Really?
Said he's probably doing like 2 more roles, like movie theater roles, and then he wants to do like plays and TV. Said he was inspired by Breaking Bad, actually. He had never seen it, and then he said like his kid or something like that got him to watch it, and he just thought like the depth that they were able to get to with their characters and everything made him want to do that.
That makes sense. That's kind of like along the lines of what we've been saying is like you get way better character development at a better speed with these series.
I think he's going to have like retrospectively like a few I think people are already doing it now, right? Like he had fallen off for so long and he's had such a resurgence over the past few years. And it's not like it's not like Brendan Fraser getting nominated for all those awards for coming back and doing like a crazy role. It's like he's just doing a bunch of different shit of all varying levels, like, but he's just throwing himself into all these fucking crazy roles, and I think people are gonna look back and be like, Nick Cage had a hell of a fucking run. So best male supporting role. That's another hell of a list right there.
That's why I stopped at it, even though like supporting role you typically want to skip it, but Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., my boy Hot Goss, Ryan Gosling.
I'm going either Ruffs or Goss.
Yeah?
Yeah. You're going Downey.
Nah, I'm with the Goss all the way.
You're a Goss guy.
That's my guy. He can do no wrong.
Do we have like a best picture? Because let's speed this up. We don't need to bother people with every single one on here.
All right, I'll skip all the best performance ones. Best screenplay motion picture?
Yeah.
Barbie, Oppenheimer, obviously. Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall.
I have seen one of these.
Barbie.
Yeah.
So that's your vote.
It doesn't feel like it can win, though. Like seeing what it's up against. Like, do you think like a reputable award show, like if this was the Teen Choice Awards or like the MTV Movie Awards, then I feel like Barbie's a shoo-in.
Yeah.
But like an award ceremony like the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes that takes themselves seriously, I believe.
When they say best screenplay, does that just mean like best overall, or is there like a specific aspect of the movie they're judging?
I think it's the best. Well, like it's not about which one made the most money. I feel like it's like the quality of movie.
So it's just like the overall like product and what it's like, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. You've seen Oppenheimer and you've seen Barbie. I'm gonna just double check and try to get us some information on that. So if you want to fill some time for me.
I mean, for me, like I've said it before, like Barbie's just not a movie that I felt like was for me. I can still say it was a good movie and I appreciate what it did, but I didn't really enjoy it, and I think visually it wasn't anything crazy. Oppenheimer, that movie, like, you could watch the entire movie with your eyes closed. It's all dialogue, and like they made you watch an IMAX for this grand explosion that had no payoff. So
Okay, so the best screenplay versus best film. It's actually more to do with the writing.
gotcha.
It's about the writers themselves.
Okay. Then I'd probably definitely lend that to Oppenheimer over Barbie, but again, I haven't seen any of the other movies.
See, I think the ability to make Barbie into something that was taken seriously, that there's like a certain level of skill that goes into that.
Yeah.
Whereas like everybody took a nuke seriously.
It's not about taking it seriously though. It's about like how they strung it together into a cohesive and interesting story.
Okay, you're the expert.
Not the expert. I'm just saying that's my take on it.
Okay, yeah. So Oppenheimer's got your vote. I think you're probably right that like that feels like. See, I always have to assume that like there's a chance that Scorsese just gets it. So like Killers of the Flower Moon
Nah.
could get it. Also, looking at like Poor Things, I still think that movie screams awards to me.
Okay.
Just from what I saw of the trailer and then some of the hype I'm seeing around it right now, screams like it's going to get a lot of award talk. Is there any other interesting ones here, or should we move on to the taste test? We are on a bit of a time crunch.
Best TV series?
None of those mean anything to me.
No.
Give it to jury duty. The Last of Us wins the drama one.
And cinematic and box office achievement, Barbie or Oppenheimer, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift's
Swizzy's
gonna
on
win.
there.
Super Mario Brothers.
The Forgotten Ones.
What, like, isn't this one a cut and dry one?
Isn't it just who had the most money? Right?
You would think so, right? Like, or is it versus like budget maybe?
Well, it says cinematic and box office achievement, so like, is the cinematic achievement a different thing? Like, I guess I don't get it.
There's only like, I mean, like I enjoyed a lot of the movies on that, but it would really just make sense that it's Oppenheimer or Barbie. Maybe like the Taylor Swift thing. I think the amount of money it pumped in for
Like, oh yeah, like, you know, profit versus budget.
yeah, and like it's kind of unheard of to have it be that successful.
Yeah.
So like I could see getting it. Okay. Yeah, like as I said, we are on a bit of a time crunch for anybody wondering. We are going to the movies, and it's very soon after this. I sold Dante on the idea of seeing Godzilla, so I've decided to see it again. So we're gonna jump into the taste test, the weekly segment where we cleanse ourselves of all of our sins. We open the curtains and then close them back up to all of you. There is now a DVD player and a regular TV screen behind me. I don't know how that makes sense.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Yeah, this is the taste test.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, we kind of referenced this earlier in the pod. So we had our little movie mishap last night. And as we're finding out that our showing was canceled for Screen Unseen, I had happened to recall that Die Hard was in the theater. And there was going to be a showing that we could get to if we traveled on down the road to a different cinema. So we went and caught Die Hard. And do you want to start with the lead up to this, Dante? Like the pre-cinema shit?
Yeah, sure.
So you thugged out on a customer service rep.
I did not thug out. I just helped him do his job.
You were aggressive, and I appreciate it because I would not have handled it this way. Now, at the same time, I think I would have maybe been more clear with what was going on because the one thing I would knock you on here, right? And I thought about this while it was happening. You assume that he knows what the fuck Screen Unseen is.
He's an AMC employee.
They don't have it at his theater.
Fair, okay, fine. But I told
So that's
him
where
I had a ticket to a movie at another theater.
You just said, hey, we were at the Screen Unseen thing and it got canceled, which I understand that should make sense, but it does leave a little bit to like.
So my whole point though
is
is like we both work in retail, right? So like we have dealt with customer service situations.
Yeah,
and
we've dealt like dickheads like you.
But I'm saying, when we're unclear on something, we ask people to elaborate, right?
Mm-hmm.
He not once asked me to elaborate. He just kind of gave me a blank stare. So I was like,
Yeah,
how better can I explain this?
I'm not disagreeing. I think there were better ways to explain it, but you got pretty much down to the nitty gritty with him. So essentially, Dante was like, "Hey," or what had happened was, at least we had the tickets under our premiere for the Screen Unseen, and because they didn't tell us that the movie was canceled, the time had already passed for which that movie would have started, and because of that, we couldn't cancel our showing. It said that it had already been refunded, but it wouldn't let us cancel the showing. So it wouldn't let us get our ticket to Die Hard for free. We had to pay for it. So our idea was that we would go to the South Bay and be like, "Hey, this showing got canceled. We want to apply our free ticket to Die Hard because we're clearly not at that right now. We're here." And it should have. And you know what? So here's what is confusing about this, Dante, with his inability to handle the situation. Before you see a movie at AMC, when they're selling you on
That's
the
exactly
idea
what I was thinking the whole time.
on the AMC thing,
Yeah.
they're like, come back to the host, like, or to the customer
Guest
service
services.
desk,
Yeah.
and we will refund you the money for today's ticket and get your membership started. So that's the one part where I couldn't understand what he wasn't getting.
Because he was just giving me like a blank stare, like, I can't refund it.
And like the part of the problem was that we didn't tell the person when they scanned our ticket when we first walked in, because we just assumed we'd talk to them upstairs and it wouldn't be an overly complicated scenario. This guy
his
also,
first response was like, "Oh, nobody told me anything."
Yeah, and mind you, he also was a supervisor.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Did he have like a name tag?
Yeah,
that
his
said
name tag
supervisor?
said supervisor on it.
Got you.
So like he was like, "I can't refund the ticket," essentially, and we're like both standing there, and like this is where Dante just went into problem solve mode, and he's like,
Well, because I'm just thinking about, like, if I was on the other side of this desk, what resolution would I offer?
"No, your resolution was perfect because the money worked out.
It was
and
the exact
everything."
amount of money we would have spent on that anyways.
Yeah, so that's where I thought it was and he clearly was just like, "Cool, like we're done with it." Although he did kind of give you a little bit of tude with the like get you the fresh popcorn thing. I don't know how you took that.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely took that as like, oh, let me get that right for you, sir. You know,
Like it was just like you're already being a dick to me, so I'm gonna over nice you because like we've both done this.
yeah.
You know, like I definitely caught like a sense of like. Also,
at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, let him get his.
It was the
and,
best
like,
popcorn I've had.
I benefited from it. I've never had popcorn that warm and fresh from the movie theater.
The butter combination to that warm popcorn was like incredible.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I almost want to request that they give me a fresh thing every time. Let's just throw a stink tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, your solution was, "Hey dude, like if you're gonna tell me you can't refund the movie ticket for me, can you at least just like we're gonna buy a drink and popcorn, give us that?" And he was like, "Deal, we're cool." All right, so we move on. Let's get to the movie.
Yeah.
So we go and see Die Hard. I've long said this is probably my favorite movie of all time. My favorite action movie at a very bare minimum of all time. It's kind of one of those movies that molded my viewing on what I loved about movies when I was a young kid. This, however, was your first time seeing it in its entirety.
Yeah, I think it was my first real time. Yeah.
Yeah. What scenes did you? So you said prior to the movie that like it's a movie you feel like you've seen scenes from. What were some scenes that you kind of recalled before, like as the movie's playing out?
Like I definitely remember him having to run around there barefoot.
Okay.
You know, I remember like some of the scenes where he's like in the elevator getting shot at, or when he's on the roof. But not a ton of it stuck out to me, honestly. It was more so just like, oh, this looks kind of familiar. Oh, the scene when the cop pulled up too, and they like drop the body and like start shooting up the car. Yeah. I remember seeing that scene. Like that was familiar.
Okay, so let's ask an important question before we get into further into the review, Dante.
Yeah.
It's a question as old as time.
Oh shit.
Christmas movie or not?
Oh, dog. After watching that movie, I have no idea how this has been such a big debate. It's 100% a Christmas movie.
Thank you.
The entire movie they're talking about fucking Christmas.
Yes, that's my whole point in it. Like, just because they're not exchanging gifts, there's no Santa Claus.
No, the entire movie they're talking about Christmas. It takes place at a Christmas party. It's on Christmas Eve.
What's the very first song that you hear?
What was it? Christmas in Hollis?
Run DMC.
Yeah.
I remember like that part always slipped my mind. And then I saw this in the theater a year or two ago. when they first started. Like, apparently this is a thing they're going to do every year now. Is like
Because it's a Christmas movie.
yeah, a couple weeks before Christmas, they're going to release this into theaters for you to watch it again. And I saw it a couple years ago, and I remember that sticking out to me like very heavily. Like, oh shit, this song is what they start the movie off with. Yeah, it's a. I've always been on the side of it's a Christmas movie. I think anybody who doesn't is fucking crazy. But all right, glad you answered that for us. Okay. So overall feelings about the movie.
I mean, I've said it before. Like, I feel like, 80s and 90s action movies are just untouchable. Like, they're definitely, like, in terms of, like, enjoyment, like, the action's fun, the one-liners, I've always loved that shit, and, like, just the overall feel of the movie, it's a very fun pace.
I enjoy, exactly, you said the pace. I think the movie's really well paced.
Yeah.
I think you have a good, like, 15 to 20 minutes of character setup.
I love that we don't have to over-explain, like, character development either. Like, no, I get it. I get who they are. Cool. Move on.
But all the people that they do set you up with, right?
Yeah.
Takagi, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the scummy coworker guy? Lawrence. Laura.
Is it Ellis? No.
Ellis. You're right. It is.
Is it Ellis? Okay.
Ellis. What's the limo driver's name?
Argyle.
See, you don't remember stuff, but then you remember this shit. Holly,
I honestly am surprised by myself right now, by the way.
Like Holly, and then obviously you have the main characters from there. But like those are like kind of your main players. The villain, the brother of the dude who dies early in the movie.
I don't remember his name.
No, it's Magnus, right? Or something
no,
like that.
Not Magnus. Am I gonna have to pull up IMDb?
I think it's like, I thought it was with an M.
No, I thought it was like with a C. Wasn't it like Carl?
Carl. K. Carl with a K.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Carl with a K. It's on the right, about 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they do in that 15 to 20 minutes, though, you get enough scene/dialogue with those couple of characters that when they have moments throughout the movie, you have a feeling of what their character is like. Like, it made total sense when Ellis went into like business for himself and thought that he could like schmooze it up and get the deal done. Like, that made so much sense, right? Argyle, like the character, like the little flashes to him in the limo the whole time, like
where he just has no clue what's going on.
Yeah, it like fit exactly what's going on, and then he has his like great moment at the end where he stops the guy in the ambulance, right?
Which I thought that was pointless, but I enjoyed it.
He was gonna that was one of their ways to get away.
They weren't getting down there.
At that point, did you know that though?
No.
He certainly didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Takagi, it's like you only get him for the first 30 minutes of the movie, but I think he's pretty impactful in that. Did you see how bad he was sweating?
I guess I didn't notice. No.
Yeah, that's one of the things that stood out this time watching it is like the amount, and like in real, if this was happening to you, like he's got a gun held up to him and it's like counting to 3, and this man is just pouring sweat.
You know what is one thing that stood out to me is how John McClane's beater was progressively getting dirtier to the point where it just looked like a brand new brown beater.
Yeah, it was disgusting. It quickly got gross.
Yeah.
And then it's like he crawled around in the vents and shit like that and came out of those just like, mess.
I was just like, oh, that is all one shade of brown. How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, so they do a great job with this movie of establishing side characters without needing to go heavy into like an hour of dialogue for them before you get into like action to the movie.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a great part. The other part is the action is extravagant for the time, but looks modest today, right?
But it was all practical.
And I was going to say, it all looked very practical in the way that they did it. Whether it's the scene of him in the elevator, like having to jump from the thing and grab onto the small vent hole, like completely unrealistic, obviously, but like still a pretty tense scene. Funny enough, right before we went into the movies, you were talking about being afraid of elevators, and it's like, whoa, boy, do I got one for you.
Yeah, all the jumping around the elevator shafts, no bueno.
Yeah, the scene of him.
You remember at one point during the movie, I was telling you, I was just like, damn, I'm just watching this and thinking how accurate they got into COD.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is also very true. And you brought that up, and I hadn't even thought about that in a long time. But yeah, they had Nakatomi Plaza like spot on.
Oh yeah. Like even the parking garage, I was like, oh shit.
So Yeah, the action scenes all together, like I think are all like they still it's a great movie to roll out once a year into the theater, and I think it just shows it's an action movie that kind of stands the test of time
The
because the action looks still believable. That cop sucked, by the way. The white
oh,
cop.
oh, the Fed.
No, the chief of police or whatever.
Oh yeah,
He was awful.
yeah,
He was still trying to bust McClane after everything was done for Ellis's death. It's like, dude, he pull the fucking trigger.
yeah.
What do you want from him? What was like your favorite moment or scene?
Hmm. I don't know if I had a favorite moment or scene.
I think obviously I think the scene of him at the end where he has the gun taped to the back
I was just thinking that
back.
one
is probably
because obviously I remember that being like a move in like the later Die Hard movies, and now realizing it's a callback like that was definitely pretty cool.
and it's like just the whole build up to that, right?
Yeah,
Like you know there's more going on there, but like when he starts laughing in Han's face and they start laughing at each other like this like sinister laugh at each other, and then he just fucking 2 shots left in the barrel gets it done.
you know what? Also, I was thinking in that moment, I can't pull that off.
Which part?
Not even the actual shooting part, the getting the gun.
The flexibility.
Yeah, like I'm over here like this, and I'm like,
It's like, how did he tape it so well?
Yeah, I know, right? He was dripping sweat. Like, where did he get this good tape from?
Well, and like, how did he reach those parts of his back with the tape?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like that. Like I get like, and then to pull the gun, know that the gun's gonna come off.
Like that was a quick draw. Like I'm talking about. Like I'd be reaching. Like itchy back. Hold on, give me a second.
Imagine like the tape comes loose and it just falls down on the ground. Whoops.
Oh man.
Oh, you got me.
It'd be fun if like parody movies were still a thing to see that play out like that.
I wonder if they ever did parody that. They probably did.
They had to at some point.
Yeah, I think that it's still a movie that holds up very, very well.
I guess one thing I also didn't remember is how old this movie was. So like in the very beginning, when he's like a cop with a gun on the plane, I'm like, oh, you can't do that anymore. Or he's just chilling in the airport smoking a cigarette. I'm like, yo, TSA would have had your ass for that.
I mean, even the limo driver, like Argyle being like, hey, we got everything in here. A car phone, a CB radio.
Yeah. Oh, just hit me on my car phone. I was like, yo, he's saying it like it's the coolest shit ever.
I mean, that's a badass feature to have in your car. Like I feel like it probably phased out very quickly for that being like a cool premise, but
I think that was right before like the booming popularity of cell phones.
Yeah. So, well, and beepers, right?
That too, yeah.
Because that would have been a prime movie to have a beeper in. Yeah, I think John McClane, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. He's gotta be maybe the best action hero of all time.
I would need time to compile my thoughts on that because again, my memory's not that great, and I can't just snap to something real quick.
Like I don't know, like he's just like an everyman's kind of guy, right?
No.
Like nothing super extravagant about him. Just like a gritty fucking tough dude who winds up in like a shit scenario. Like you said, the man doesn't have shoes the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
The whole movie does not have shoes and just gets the job
just fucking done, kicks ass, yeah.
Like whatever needs to be done, he just does it. Another scene that I think is like probably worth mentioning as one of the best scenes in the movie is when Hans plays the American, like hits him with the accent and fakes being an American.
I like that it was like a good enough accent, but still you could tell he was hiding another accent.
And that he sniped out a name of somebody who is in the office buildings.
Yeah.
Like, because they show you the little flash over to like where the directory is, and you assume that like the thing that's going to catch him up is he's going to say a name that's not listed on there.
I guess that part I didn't fully understand because I didn't get how McClane knew that he was lying once he said that. Like, I thought he was going to ask him, like, which floor is your office on or something like that, because it also had, like, their floor number next to it.
I think if you watch it the whole time, he's skeptical of it. Fair. Like, the guy was snooping around up there. It wasn't like he was, like, a scared, lost dude. He turned into that once, like, John approaches him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I thought, like, the story was good enough from Hans, but I think that, like, there's a tension in that we know as the audience that this is him. And it's, like, watching it play out for John. and then like the scene of him like going to fire the gun at him and just being like, "What do you think? I'm fucking stupid." Like that line's awesome to me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I all, on top of all that, like you mentioned the one-liners, I think that is also just he's a very funny character. Like
It's like a huge trope of like 80s action movies, and I just fucking love that shit.
yeah, but it's very much like it's very much a John McClane thing, being like the smart ass New York cop. Like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Now I know what it feels like to be a TV dinner. That line always stands out to me. Um, come to the party, we'll have a good time.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I can't remember any of the one-liners, unfortunately. But
so it's. I mean, I'll always just rep that it's like one of the best movies. I think it's just it's an easy watch, ton of action that holds up. Since last night, Dante, I've watched Die Hard 2,
oh,
and I'm about halfway through Die Hard with Vengeance.
okay, shit.
Die Hard 2, not as good. Die Hard 3 is awesome.
Really? Okay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance, incredible. Up there, it's actually playing a trailer.
No,
for you
yeah,
right now.
that's crazy how that goes.
Weirdly. Like Die Hard 2's fine. Different director though. It's Remy Harlan or something like that. And
Not
you know,
important.
pretty big like action director, but has kind of always done like over the top action movies. Just not it's a little bit too close to the first movie maybe, but just in a different location. But follows a lot of the same, like he's partnered up with another cop. It's like, like there's another bad guy who's trying to hold them up for this one was actually trying to get somebody released.
Okay.
Whereas like with a Vengeance has good tie-ins to the earlier movies, but then like you introduce Samuel L. Jackson in that movie and he's like incredible in it.
Was that the one with the hackers?
No, that's the fourth one.
Okay.
That is the fourth one. That was way later. Die Hard with a Vengeance, I think, is like 1997.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think they go like 88, 93, and then 97, and then you get like 2004.
88, 90,
Well,
95, 2007.
Okay. And then when's the fifth one?
2013.
Yeah. People hate the fifth one. It's not as good, but it's fine.
That's just a fucking sus title.
Which one?
A Good Day to Die Hard.
There's probably a spinoff somewhere for that. It's just an old dude taking Viagra.
Just moving on.
What's the fourth one?
I mean,
Die Harder?
Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, there we go. That's a dude taking Viagra in New Hampshire.
I was like, there's something tying in New Hampshire there.
Yeah, the fourth one's awesome. I think like my order of these movies generally would go 1, 3, 4, 2, 5. It sucks we never got another one, and like Bruce Willis is at a point now where he's like got Alzheimer's or something like that, his like brain deterioration.
Oh, is that what he's got? Okay.
Yeah, you can't like speak anymore.
I thought he had some like muscular thing. Was it Alzheimer's?
I think it's his brain, and I don't think he can speak anymore. Really.
Damn.
So yeah, it kind of sucks that like we never got to run back one more of these. I do wonder if we'll ever get in the world of remakes and like everything like that. Although you watch this movie in the theater literally like today, and it still holds up to such a level that it's like, does it need to get remade or rebooted?
I mean, probably not, but like in a world where nothing's original, and I mean, I guess it's been this way for a while, but like I feel like media is heavily dependent on like going back to the well on old shit. I wouldn't have hated to see something else.
I also don't know why I act like it wasn't already rebooted.
No.
It was. We got the movie Skyscraper from The Rock.
I never watched that one.
It's One-Legged Die Hard. Check it out.
One-Legged Die Hard.
No, I'm serious. Nev Campbell's in it too. Love her.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bang out the whole franchise, I think. Was there anything else you've watched?
I've basically just been rewatching some of my favorite movies. I rewatched The Italian Job last week. And I also watched Catch Me If You Can.
I mean, I love The Italian Job. I told you this yesterday. I've never seen Catch Me If You Can. I know it's something I should watch.
I fucking love that movie.
It's a dramedy. Would that be a correct description of it?
I don't think there's any comedy to it. It's just a drama.
Yep. So that's why I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Not a drama guy.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched.
It's not like
any...
a dry drama. You know what I mean? Like
no,
it's still exciting.
I know. I mean, I'll pose this to the people out there in the world: is I don't want to say Leo's overrated, but like I'll at least say this: I don't think Leo's movies are for everybody. You could say that about any actor.
Yeah, I could give you that.
Also, like this isn't really a knock on Leo so much as like. For me personally, there's not a lot of Leo movies that stand out historically as me being like, you've got to watch this. Like, I appreciate how good of an actor he is, but his movies are just kind of dry for my taste.
Dry.
Yeah.
Even like Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, I think that movie's heavily overrated.
I'd give you that it's overrated.
That one's maybe not dry, but I do think that movie is like, granted, like the scene of him drugged up like outside of the car is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Also, like anything with Margot Robbie in that movie is like, I think that's part of it is like, you can't really get past her in that movie for me.
I gotcha. So you're more a fan of the people around him than him himself.
Jonah Hill's pretty good in that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the first roles we saw him in a semi-serious role, right? It was still pretty comedy, but
yeah, I mean, I think that one teeters the line in there. But the other movies that come to mind, like I always think like Shutter Island's pretty overrated.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah,
did I tell you about the time I was over at my friend's house?
I think we've talked about
like a couple months back, and they were like, "You have to watch this movie." And by the end of it, I was just like, "No, I did not like that at all."
Yeah, and then things like I guess like The Departed is fantastic.
Yeah,
that I actually, you know what? I take this back. I said to you last night that like the Titanic's probably going to be like if somebody asked me what your favorite
The Departed
movie by him is.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Leonardo DiCaprio movie is
that guy.
I would say that movie, but no, it is 100% The Departed. But I don't even think of Departed as being like a Leo movie, even though he is like the lead actor in it. But it's such like an ensemble cast of like goated actors that you almost don't think of it as being like You're like, yeah, you don't think of it immediately being a Leo movie, but he is like the guy. So yeah, that's got to be his best role actually for me.
Okay.
I never saw The Revenant. That's actually one that I'm a bit more interested in.
I haven't seen that one either, actually.
That's one I feel like I need to watch because I think that's one I probably would enjoy too. Yeah, I got nothing else. I haven't really been watching anything.
Yeah, no, I've been kind of light. Like I said, Italian Job, Catch Me If You Can. I started to rewatch Good Will Hunting, but I didn't get through it.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, that's a must-watch, dude.
I fucking love that movie.
Incredible movie.
It's like an all-time favorite.
I think it should be everybody's all-time favorite. That's a universally loved movie. I don't think you come across people who don't like Good Will Hunting.
I mean, if they don't like it, then fuck them. I don't want you around me.
Get the fuck out of here.
There's the door.
So, yeah, we're going to see -1. We'll get Dante's thoughts on it next week in the taste test, I suppose. See if his opinion lives up to what mine is. I hope that I have not done it a disservice by overselling it early, so then, like, it's a disappointment, because I know I'd be susceptible.
The problem is you're not the only one that's hyping it up.
Yeah.
There's been a few other people that are like, yo, have you seen -1 yet? Like, that's like the movie.
I'm like, quite confident that you will come away feeling the same way I did. But we'll wait and see. And, next week on the pod, I guess we can't really, we'll be seeing it. Talk about it now. We got Aquaman and Wonka. We have Wonka this week, but we have Aquaman and what next week?
Oh, shit. Did I close that tab? Oh, no.
Oh, the Iron Claw. And is anyone but you? Is that out tomorrow, next week, or is that Christmas Day?
What?
That's the rom-com with Sydney Sweeney. I think that's probably next week.
Anyone But You, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's next week?
That's also the 22nd. So on the 22nd, we have Anyone But You, Iron Claw,
and Aquaman.
And
all right. So,
oh yeah,
really quickly, hit me with the three of those movies in order. What are you most excited to see?
Definitely most excited for Iron Claw.
Okay.
Um, I didn't. I don't remember seeing anything on Anyone But You.
It's the movie that ruined his marriage.
Ha. Okay. I mean, Sydney Sweeney, worth it.
Right.
Um, and Aquaman. I mean, I haven't even seen the first one, but I just heard it's like don't watch it, so I didn't even care to. And the trailer hasn't really excited me.
Yeah, I think mine would definitely be Iron Claw, Anyone But You, and then Aquaman. On the flip side, I don't like the original Aquaman. If anybody hasn't checked it out, go to Nerd Affiliated's channel. They did a ranking of the DC EU video or movies quickly. There's like a clip that they put out of it. Definitely worth watching for anybody who hasn't seen it yet out there. They have that in the top 5. I I don't know why, man, but like I think it's a matter of like they're all so bad that something's got to be in the top 5. Like to me, like, and I commented on the video. It's like there's 4 like fairly obvious ones, and I put Batman vs Superman in there, and I don't even necessarily know if I agree with that, other than the fact that like again they're all so bad that
Like, what do you pick?
yeah, I mean they also like go watch it. I don't want us to take all their shine there, but I had some thoughts on it, but I'm not nearly like the nerd that they are about it, and I mean that in the nicest of possible. Like that's a compliment. That's the channel's called Nerd Affiliated, but like
Yeah.
I am not at that level of comic book nerdery that I have any right to have the opinions or like say that their opinions on it are wrong. I can just say from my personal feelings that things like Blue Beetle, fucking Aquaman none of them were good. Like so put it plain as day there.
Honorable mention on upcoming movies. So we talk about movies coming out on the 22nd. There's also 3 days later the Ferrari movie dropping on the 25th. I think I know what I'm doing for Christmas.
I mean, he looks like he's fucking awesome in it. Adam Driver looks really good in this. He looks like he carries some shit. I also like Shailene Woodley.
Okay.
I don't know how much this movie like interests me. It's definitely more your vibe than mine, but I think it's gonna be really well acted.
Yeah. I basically now I have Gran Turismo to compare it to and see what automotive movie is my win for the year.
Word. All right, well, with that being said, we're out of time for this week. We have reached the end. You can find us anywhere audio podcasts are available, right here on YouTube at For Those With Good Taste. We're available on social media at For Those With Good Taste on Instagram, at Good Taste Live on X, and at FTWGT on TikTok. Dante, really quickly, where can I find you?
Dirty Water ENT on YouTube, Dirty Water _ENT on Twitch and Instagram.
Till next week, we bid you adieu.
Au revoir.
For Those With Good Taste.